Hello. We know Pittsburgh is the city of bridges, but how are we bridging the gaps between our differences? A local artist has a way and everyone is invited. And for 15 years, the Shyne Awards has celebrated the accomplishments of young people all over the country. We'll talk to the organizer about this year's big event. Plus, do you have kids interested in attending an HBCU? Well, there's an event coming up where students, no matter their age, can learn all about historically Black colleges and universities. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA+, and the host of Intersections. What would it take to bring our communities together, to lower the walls we may have built up around ourselves, to be more accepting of others? Well, a local woman has spent the last several years working on ways to bridge those gaps. Ebtehal Badawi is the creator of Pittsburgh Builds Bridges initiative and the second annual Building Bridges Day. And she joins us now on Intersections. Welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you have such an interesting story. You were a young girl and you really loved art, but that was not really the direction that your family wanted you to go in. So how did you find your way to art?
I know, as you said, since a young age that I want to become an artist. I took that workshop, art, that sparked the love of art in my heart. I even wrote a note to myself, when I grow up, I want to become an artist. And everyone told me art is a hobby, so I went to science. Several years ago, 10 years ago, I went to different life challenging and I started self-loving journey. And through that, I came back to art.
Wow, wow. So you have come up with this initiative, Pittsburgh Builds Bridges. How did this start for you?
It started through my own son experience with racism comments in one of the hockey local team practices at the locker room. And they eventually apologized to him. As a mother, when I learned about this, when he shared with us, it hurts that my son went through that. And I also thought of the other kid, what they've been through to do something like this. The same year, I saw also a Syrian refugee was beaten up in one of the high schools here in Pittsburgh. I also thought, what can I do to bring people together, to use my art to heal? And that's how I came up with the design, Pittsburgh Builds Bridges.
Yeah. So what happens? I know that, you know, you engage with people on a number of different ways. You know, some things happen in school. So how do you make this program come to life?
It all started with that sketch, and I took it to my son middle school principal, Mr. Como, and 5 years ago. I took it to him, I shared with him, I would love to display this art to uplift student. He was the first yes. He said, yes, let's get the approval of the superintendent of Jefferson Hills, and we did. And we display it over there at the school. One day, my friend shared with me to go to different coffee shop and restaurants at Penn Avenue to display my other art over there. Every time I go to a restaurant or a coffee shop, they tell me that there is a long waiting list, 8 months, a year to display my art. I felt so challenging. I remember I walk in Penn Avenue, start praying, is this my path? Show me a sign, God. Then I got a call that really changed my life. My friend, she's from Puerto Rico, her name is Mimi, she shared with me that her younger son experienced an anxiety, panic attack, because his older brother played football and was bullied. So one of the panic attack, he was at the school cafeteria, he looked up, he saw the design, he felt he belonged and he got better. And that really changed my life. I got my vision of displaying Pittsburgh Builds Bridges in all schools in Pittsburgh and trying to find a wall downtown to paint it as a mural with different kids. and different sports team, the Penguin, the Pirates, the Riverhounds, the Steelers, to show even if we look different, even if we cheer for different sports team, even if we have different background, we still can come together to plant these seeds of love and acceptance in our kids' heart and in our heart. Yeah. And I started this journey 5 years ago, trying to find that wall. During the journey to find the wall, I found multiple walls, connect with different schools, start sketching and inviting kids to add that brushstroke, and I ask them, how do you build bridges between people?
Wow. What do they say when you ask that question?
So when I ask kids, they say from steel. And I tell them, that's true, we build bridges of steel. And I'm talking about different kind of bridge, friendship bridge. And I start asking them, how do you build bridges of friendship? And they share with me giving hugs, playing together, smiling to each other. And even some adults, when I ask them, they told me, we don't know how to build bridges. And I say, it's okay. And I start having these conversations. How do you make friends? And then they start sharing with me by talking to people, communicating, listening. And I heard so many stories and shares, and one particular story that still echo in my heart. Students from Thomas Jefferson Intermediate, she was 4th grade. She shared with me when I asked her, how do you make friends? She said, by being who I am, by being myself. So at that young age, to be proud of who she is and to continue by being herself. So I thought that's amazing that kids that young age, they're proud of their identity.
Yeah, we learn a lot from our kids, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that's coming up that you have is the second time, and it is Building Bridges Day for Pittsburgh. Tell us about this event and what people will experience when they come.
So this event will happen on August 3rd on the Clemente Bridge. And Roberto Clemente, he's a legend, and he's also from Puerto Rico, like my friend. So it's like a circle. And we're gonna celebrate at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll have different performance from different culture, and we'll kick off the event with let's walk together to build bridges of peace, because we get to have peace together. And then we're gonna have yoga. So everyone, they get to bring their yoga mat with them to relax the beginning of the day. And then we celebrate together with Indian dance, African dance, Chinese dance, and ballet. And Frizzy will join us too. So that's the event will be amazing, and there will be different foods, different vendors. Salem Market is sponsoring the food.
Right. Well, it sounds like an amazing, amazing event, and we really appreciate you coming and talking about it. And we definitely want to have you back and hear more about some of these initiatives that you are undertaking. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank all our sponsors for providing this, the Penguin Foundation, Flourish Group, and a lot more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, coming up, celebrating young people who are shining and making a difference. Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, for 15 years, young people from around Pittsburgh and the country have been recognized for the things that they do and makes them shine. And this year, several more young people will take their place in the spotlight. It's all part of the Shyne Awards Foundation, which honors the successes of young people every year. And joining us is Orlana Darkins-Drury. She is the co-founder and executive director of the Shyne Awards, as well as last year's Renaissance awardee, Erin Walker. Welcome to Intersections.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's been 15 years. Tell us a little bit about the Shyne Awards.
Oh my gosh. So the Shyne Awards celebrates the positive accomplishments of young people between the ages of 13 and 24 in Pittsburgh and anywhere in the world. And me and my husband created it because we believe the media doesn't portray a balanced representation of young people. So we thought, instead of complaining about it, let's create a public platform that celebrates them. And again, this public platform was just supposed to be for Pittsburgh, but it ended up growing, and now it's a national attraction.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, did you think when you first started this that we were going to have people coming from all over the world to be part of this?
No, not at all. When we started in July 2007, that was the first Shyne Awards. We just wanted to do it one time to prove a point that young people are doing great things in their community.
Yeah.
The end. That was it. And then here we are 15 years later.
Yeah. So, you know, you have different categories that you're looking for your awardees. Talk a little bit about some of the categories.
Yes, so we have the arts, academics, community service, service and ministry, STEM, young adult group participation, overcoming obstacles. And then we have also leadership, but we also have specialized awards like the Renaissance Award that Aaron Walker was awarded last year. And I think he's the third person to get that award. And that individual is someone who makes a total transformation, and in that transformation, they use their new superpower for good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Aaron, talk about that. You were the Renaissance awardee from last year. What's your story? Tell us, what made you the award winner.
Well, I was in and out of behavior schools for years and struggled academically, but over the years I kind of found my way, found my course, and I just changed how I was. My teachers seen that. My teachers, they were my eyes. They guided me and put me in a position to succeed. And one of my teachers, her name is Ellen Eith. She noticed that, she recognized that, and she then reached out to the Shyne Award, and yeah, now we're here.
The rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
But you were part of Eradicate Hate,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
was an organization that was started. What attracted you to that organization, and what made you want to be part of that?
Well, it took one film, and I was watching The Tree of Life, and after seeing that film, I realized that something that happened in my city that I didn't know about that was major, it made me want to be more part of it. It made me want to learn more about, what goes on and hate crimes and things like that. So I just put my foot to the pedal, and it just fell to me.
Yeah, and then Orlana, like when you hear these stories of these young people, what kind of goes through you, just the inspiration of all of that?
Yes, I mean, every year is always just so inspirational for us to keep going with it, whether it's individuals that were nominated by a parent or a friend or clergy, or if their testimonials were receiving from groups that bring young people to the Shyne Awards, and then we learn later them witnessing the Shyne Awards and seeing how peers are being celebrated, how it impacts them, and they change their lives around. But it gives us fuel each year to do it. It's tiring, but hearing stories like Aaron's gives us motivation that we have to keep moving forward. And for many of these young people, it's their first award, and it gives them confidence to keep striving to shine.
Yeah. So tell us about this year's awards, Sunday, August 4th. It's a star-studded event. So there's like a red carpet and all that. So kind of walk us through what people will experience if they attend.
Yes, so we have our young adults, they convene at the Fairmont Hotel, and we have PNW, BMW pick them up, and they're transported to the Pittsburgh Playhouse. The red carpet starts at 5 p.m. and there's music and there's celebration. We have Penn Hills varsity cheerleaders cheering on our honorees, and then the award ceremony begins at 6:15, and again, the young people are our stars. So it's all about them. They receive their Shyne Awards, they get some other things I'm not going to mention right now. And then just even before and after that, you know, there's a media tour, and just we like to celebrate their accomplishments.
Yeah, and we have a graphic up showing like when it is, where it is, and how can people get tickets?
Yes, so they can visit our website, theshyneawards.org. We spell Shyne with a Y. And they can also call the Playhouse box office.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for being with us and sharing, and I'm sure it's going to be another fabulous event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, coming up, a chance to check out some HBCUs from right here in Pittsburgh. Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, there's a fun event coming up that allows students of any age to play games, eat, and learn about HBCUs. It's the Unity for the Community and HBCU Send-Off in McKeesport. Joining us now is Denise Sinkler. She's with the Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni and organizer of the event. Welcome to Intersections.
Thank you for having me, Lisa.
Absolutely. So tell us about, first of all, the Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni.
Well, the Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni is the very first nonprofit HBCU organization that uplifts the legacy and traditions of HBCUs in Pittsburgh.
So you guys are really trying to make sure that young people know that HBCUs are out there and that there's a possibility if they want to go to college, they can select an HBCU. You attended Clark Atlanta.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what was your HBCU experience.
My HBCU experience, Lisa, was phenomenal. Clark Atlanta University is a co-ed university that shares a campus with Spelman and Morehouse, and the profound legacy to just have had that experience was welcoming. Clark Atlanta supports their students. They stand by them, and it was the best decision that I ever made.
Yeah. So what is it you think that makes HBCUs special, that allows HBCUs to give maybe a different kind of environment for students?
I believe that African American cultures definitely count with HBCUs. The legacy, the proud legacy, we're celebrated every day.
Yeah. So you have this event, right?
Yes.
And you have this event that's coming up. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
It's a chance for young people to come and students that I guess are about to head off to school. Tell us a little bit about this.
Absolutely. This year it's going to be in McKeesport, which is my hometown. I was born and raised in McKeesport. It is the very first HBCU picnic and college student send-off. So this year we are implementing the community and the students. So if there's anyone that's interested in HBCU life culture, you are welcome to come.
Yeah. And there's going to be like workshops or things where people can learn about?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We are going to have a workshop where we introduce a lot of the youth in the McKeesport area to Black colleges and universities.
Yeah, and there's also like music too. Tell us a little bit about who's going to be performing.
Oh, Calvin Stimley. He is one of the best, he is the best saxophonist in Pittsburgh. So he will be performing from 1 to 3 p.m.
And then what happens after that?
And then there's going to be a DJ abroad from the afternoon throughout the evening. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Vendors, games, food, just giveaways. We're going to give away gifts to college students.
So if someone is about to head off to school this fall, they're invited to attend. Who all is invited to attend?
Oh my gosh, we have students coming from Lincoln University. We have students from Jackson State, from all over Cheney, Clark Atlanta. I have several of my mentees that I used to mentor coming from Atlanta, Ohio, all over.
Yeah. And we were talking about all ages, and you guys try to introduce HBCUs before like high school.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about why that's important to let younger ages know that HBCUs are available for them.
Absolutely. It is very important to introduce youth to HBCUs at a very young age so that they are prepared when it does come time to them going to college. They are aware of their options.
Yeah. And then in addition to this event that you're having on, what's the date? August 3rd?
August the 11th.
August 11th, sorry.
That's okay.
So in addition to that, you guys, we're showing some of that information. And which pavilion is that going to be?
It's going to be at the main pavilion.
Okay, that's the Jacob Wool Pavilion.
The Jacob Wool Pavilion, absolutely.
Okay.
So it's not too far from Penn State's main campus.
Okay.
Not their main campus, Penn State McKee Sports Campus.
Gotcha. Yeah. But the other thing is you have this event, but then you also later in the year have an event that's more of a college fair.
Absolutely. Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni, under the leadership of Vincent Elliott, we have the largest college fairs going on, probably within the Pittsburgh area. Just last year alone, we had over 2,100 students. So there are of all cultures and backgrounds. So HBCU awareness is on the rise. There are more students nationwide very curious and wanting to go and attend them.
Yeah, and a lot of people, you hear about like Howard or the Hampton,
Yes.
Morehouse, but there are so many schools out there.
Absolutely. There's about an estimated 108 HBCUs.
Okay, well, congratulations. Hopefully your event goes off well.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And I'll have my last word when we come back. Neighbors. Mr. Rogers taught Pittsburgh and the world about what it takes to be a good neighbor. Things like relationships, how we interact, how we accept each other, and ultimately how we communicate with each other. He demonstrated the meaning of being neighbors, living side by side, being friendly, respectful, helpful. The song It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood always ended with, "Won't you be my neighbor?" All it takes is an invitation. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.